Do you ever feel like there's a new trend or genre that comes out every month? Or have you felt like right when you started getting really comfortable producing one style, another one comes in and takes over in popularity? In music, things move really, really fast. And in my opinion, one of the hardest things to do is to keep up with new trends. I will tell you right now that your long-term success as a producer depends on your ability to reinvent yourself. Now, obviously, if you're working at the top of your game and you have a very famous sound, the rules are gonna be very different. Extreme niche specialization seems to be an inevitable outcome of massive success. So let's not talk about the unicorn producers. Instead of the 1%, let's talk about everyone else who's up and coming. If you have a studio and you are working with local or regional bands, it's critical to keep up with the trends. If you don't, you are the 50-year-old guy in town with a tape deck who no one hires other than maybe once a month. Sounds easy, right? Well, it isn't. A major problem that we all have as music lovers is that we are predispositioned to the style of music we grew up loving. Some of us never get out of that rut. The problem with I only like genre X, Y, and Z mentality is that it's extremely limiting to your success and creativity as a producer. There's a lot of benefit to specialization, but it's critical for you as a producer to take yourself out of your listening comfort zone and explore new music. If you don't get it, you need to figure it out fast. Okay, story time. Do you remember when trends like dubstep, auto-tune-centric scene popcore, and Euro-style dance music came in as a trend a few years back? Because I do. I was recording a ton of metalcore and rock bands at the time, and then suddenly those scene kids started showing up in my studio, and instead of playing breakdowns, they wanted me to throw dubstep and synths in all their songs. I even started getting a lot of scene pop artists influenced by bands like Breathe Carolina, Blood on the Dance Floor, and etc. The thing is that I didn't get any of that music at all the first time I heard it. I forced myself to sit down and listen to it over and over and over again. It was definitely way out of my comfort zone. Then one day it clicked, and I figured out what people loved about those songs and how they identified with them. The thing is that when someone is paying you money and they show up at your studio and ask you to do something, if you can't figure it out quickly and understand what it is that they love about it, someone else is gonna get your business and steal your client. Now the cool thing is after a little while, I got really good at those styles, but then suddenly this new thing came in, which is now what is considered alternative rock. Very 80s sounding anthemic rock played by kids with beards and thick rimmed glasses. I had to learn how to produce that genre to stay in business at the time. All of these genre changes were quite the departure for someone who came up listening to death metal, neoclassical guitar shred music, and finally Gothenburg metal. So all this talk and thinking about adaptation, here's an observation I've made that'll back that up after 2 years of doing Nail the Mix. There are usually two camps of people. There's one camp that wants to learn and work in every style of music and embraces the art of mixing, and the other that only wants to work in the genre that they like and they listen to. So let me ask you a question. Which camp do you think is creating better mixes now over time? I'll tell you from judging the competitions that the camp who embraces everything, hands down, is progressing much faster than one that refuses to work in anything other than what they're comfortable with. The lesson is that you either adapt or you die as you get older. If you aren't a mega famous producer with a unique and extremely in-demand sound, you need to keep clients in the door by learning to record anything and everything. It's even more important to appreciate the fact that music is an art. It is appreciated by a wide variety of people in a wide variety of ways. This skill set and level of appreciation also applies to creativity and songwriting, as learning to apply these ideas from different genres to your genre of specialty gives you an edge. Especially since we are in an ever more derivative marketplace. Good engineering skills, good songwriting skills, and good mixing skills apply to all genres. Being the first person in your market to embrace new trends will keep you booked solid with clients and your competition wondering what they're doing wrong. All right, questions and actions. Leave your answers in the comments below so we can learn from them as a community. Number 1, what genres do you dislike that are new? Number 2, what are you gonna do to actually understand these new genres? Number 3, build a Spotify or YouTube playlist of the top 10 songs in 3 newer genres and begin listening to them daily and trying to figure out what and why people like those songs.